Row 6 on the inside is number 87. That is the Brad Kaler Audi RS3. Action for proper any moment now. The safety car has pulled in, so the cars are coming up and over the line now, and they are about to take the start of the race. Here they come then, and they accelerate away as the lights have gone out, I think, and we're off and running for 94.5 minutes of racing in this TCR Club Enduro Championship. The lead is taken at the start by the car from the outside of the front row, Rob Baker. In the Volkswagen Golf, it looks like the Mazda had slotted into second place of Alan Henderson, I think probably starting that car, but already the Capture Motorsport Cupra of Mark Price is into third position and trying to take places away from both of the first two cars. He's passed the Mazda now, he's up to second and he's going after Rob Baker.
And one of the Lotus is off on the approach.
Is it the blue one?
Blue Elises.
It's Will Stacey then, he has started 10th, one of the championship contenders. Has no doubt dropped back as a result of that.
It was popped up actually on the approach by the looks of things to Beckett's.
Okay, so maybe hadn't even made it to the start of the race. Certainly you can't see his car there as we peer through the mist and the gloom of the spray being kicked up. Not all of these cars with lights on the front of them either, which would help conditions immeasurably here.
And there are 3 in the top 20 odd with transponder issues by the looks of things, including the Mazda.
Yeah, okay, so this could be interesting as the race goes on. Hopefully Terry, the timekeeper, Terry Stevens, on his last day of racing with the 750 Race Club, he can get that all sorted out. A few cars struggling to find some grip there, certainly the Golf of Scott Parkin, or Dan Sylvester I should say, in that car at the moment, making up a little bit of ground. But it's Baker leading, Bryce in second, Henderson in third as they make their way past us now. We're on board with Scott Parkin here, Max.
Yeah, the 89 car, very, very careful, feeding in power, feeding in steering to minimise your input in these sort of conditions. Change there. You want to upset the balance of the car, so smoothly does it, particularly with the tyres on up to optimal temperature yet. Straight, and you can see the torque of the take it pretty. Yeah,
you'd think that the Golf might want to get a bit of a advantage. Maybe a Class A car that's 112 temperatures at the moment.
The suspension looks like it's actually moving it side to side, but it's a pretty stout old gear stick in that.
So he's heading his way.
And there's the other Parkin brother. He's caught.
Ryan.
He's caught Ryan.
Yeah.
This is where it gets really interesting. They're different classes, aren't they?
Yeah, it's got Class B, Ryan, and Class A.
Yeah.
Ryan sharing with Dylan Brichter, actually.
Dylan Brichter started, yeah.
So he's got his brother on track at the moment, but he's come through completely on the first lap. Then it's Bob Baker leading by 7 tenths of a second from Mark Rice in second. 1500ths behind him. It's the Mazda of, I think, is Alan Henderson in third place. Fourth is Harvey Caton, fifth is Joel Oswald, 600 now. Seventh Don Paul, eighth Dylan Brichter, ninth Scott Parkin. Sorry, Dan Sylvester. It was Dan Sylvester who was driving the car, not Scott Parkin, although it says Scott Parkin on the tag, which is what confused us. And 10th and 95 car Luke.
So there are no parkings?
There's no parkings. They're parked up at the moment, or the drivers are anyway. And it's Brichter versus Sylvester here. Close together, as are these two Cupras as well, just ahead of them. So this is Darren Hall and Andrew Raff. Raff is ahead in the 92 car with the red and blue on the front of it. About to come under pressure as well from Dylan Brichter by the looks of it in car number 6, which is the car that started 6th on the grid.
Very good exit here from Brichter.
Looking at the inside, in fact they're going to go 3 wide, aren't they?
They've got the Seat, they've let past the red and blue livery one, Andrew Raff, the Lotus rival of York.
So it's Darren Brawl, ex-Cup racer, BMW 6-cylinder racer, and horse racer, and a number of different things over recent seasons out in this Cupra, which is ahead of Brichter in the Audi. Then you've got Andrew Raff, 7th in the Cupra. He's about to be 8th because alongside him going through Farm is Dan Sylvester. Sylvester has gone through there around the outside of Farm Corner and up into 7th position. So possibly not enjoying these conditions too much. The car qualified 3rd has dropped back to 8th.
Yeah, Will Stacey is there down in 12th. One of the blue, there are 2 or 3 blue Lotuses off in the field.
So coming towards the end of the 3rd lap of this race. There we can see briefly the Joel Oswick car, number 2. He's going solo here today. He's in 5th position. Here's the battle for 6th, including Richter in the Audi. Just ahead of him. There's 4 cars right together. Sylvester is leading Class B, of course. And there's the overall race leader, not too far away from Mark Rice, isn't Rob Baker at the moment. And still the Mazda very pluckily there in 3rd position as well.
Sorting that works delivery that ran in the States, not on this car, but on other Mazda. States. And then they're in 4th with Tom Cape and 2. Ball behind them.
About a second and a half between the 2nd and 3rd lap, between the 3rd and 4th, the gap back to John Osborne, 6 seconds as things stand. Towards Stoke-on come the leaders then, and it looks like Grice getting a bit closer to Rob Baker as they turned into the right-hander at Stowe that time, so different lines being taken by them. Mazda in 3rd, I think they were away from Caton in 4th position as they turned away through Vale and towards Club Corner.
It's certainly sense that it's easier to chase than be chased as the conditions lap on lap. Probably just changing subtly. Didn't want to stay inside those rumble curves. One of those really upset you, and that Mazda lurking in 3rd place, got lost in the spray. Formally starts to go
So towards Village they come then for the 4th time in this race. So far so good for Rob Baker in the race. Race in the 2nd part, so again a drive that's been racing with 7th description, graduating over time to this Cupra in Club Enduro. Mr. still there in 3rd, which stays on that made a position to 11. He's like 11 or 12 seconds off the pace of the lead at the moment, so not seemingly going to be in a position to challenge for the championship. A reminder that these two separated by on the course 4, what most of them 6 points coming into this weekend. Now on Brenton, there's 2 good points between Baker and Rice. So Baker wanted to stay this way. Rice in 2nd position. It's Harvey Caton in 3rd, Joel Oswick in 4th in that BMW, Jim Auto Works car. And there's the Audi of Dylan Richter in 6th position.
That's right, and Darren Paul in the white Cupra behind.
Best lap of the race for the Mazda MX-5 in 3rd position with 2:35.7, a few tenths faster than the 2 leaders on that lap. As we watch Will Stacey go through, he's now in 10th position. He's cleared the number 95 car on that lap. Luke Schlevitz starting the Java Sport Golf, and that Class B car, of course, is currently 3rd in Class B, so 2nd in Class B behind Dan Sylvester. The car shares with Scott Barker, I should say. So Will Stacey, who's been successful during the course of this season so far, winning in total 3 races so far this year. So he's always been able to consistently get the results that they need. He turns his way in that Boston run car through right-hander, Stowe corner. Not really making much headway or progress away from Luke Schlevitz there, which is what he'd be wanting to do. Felt a bit unsettled there.
Yeah, it did look like it. It's sort of sliding around front on the some of the puddles. Oh, and it's just gone a real tweak there. It's flicked him over towards the curb, and that's going to allow the Schlevert's Golf to potentially pounce into Abbey, having a look at thinking better of it. It's early in the race, there's no need to make a manoeuvre at this point. Better to wait for a safe opportunity or safer opportunity.
It's about 15 minutes away from the pit lane. Opens 30 minutes into the race and closes 15 minutes before the end. Some of these drivers, like Stacey driving solo, but they all have to make this 3-minute mandatory pit stop plus there's a bit more if you have penalties. Improved on success. So down the Wellington Straight comes number 89. That's Vesta, Golf leading Class B. He's got the back behind him, and then the Lotus, which is understeered off the circuit completely at Brooklands, going off onto the tarmac runoff area. Unfortunately for him, a particularly heavy penalty for running wide there. He keeps the place, or does he? Because around the outside of him goes Luke Schlevitz in the Golf, and yeah, Schlevitz has gone through to take the place. He's got back into the top 10.
It's the battle. It's the Golf from the Cupra.
The MX-5's done another new best lap, and it's a 2:34.22, 6/10 back in the top 2.
Into traffic now. Lapping Bupiras, Tatus Bupiras, the Lithuanian driver.
It's a three-way fight for the lead we have here, really, as we are 17 minutes or so into this race. Baker and Beach, Grice, the two drivers contending for the championship, along with Paul Stacey, who's further back. Henderson in that Mazda MX-5, who's only just behind. They're setting faster lap times, but they've got more traffic. We've got Edward Christie. We've also got the number 10, Ginetta, that they'll need to lap very soon. That's the Rob Fennick, Ginetta G40 GT5. Currently shares with Andrew Shepherd. They're still in contention for the Class C Championship, though I think if Devon Best continues to go strongly in Class C, he will win that particular championship. He's really up for grabs here. Just look at the penalties that these two have. Rob Baker's got a 20-second pit stop penalty to serve, and Mark Weiss has no penalty to serve with pit stops. So
could be telling.
It could be. It really needs Rob Baker to be able to pull away from Weiss here, isn't it? He's not able to do that yet.
Trying to, when they were lapping Ginetta, disadvantaged Mazda, as you can see. Enormous way of cheering back there. To the team.
Yeah, well, it's fascinating. He's not doing something different here. It's tempting, isn't it, to get one of the TCR cars, or cars that's really constant. Or something proven like a Golf. But the interpretation of the regulations is an intriguing one. It's going pretty well.
The TCR's a good option. Like parts for them. Touching the greenery was Grice through Beckett's that time, and Baker is taking his advantage to extend his lead. It was a second at the end of the last lap. More cars to lap. It's going to get pretty intense over the coming laps. Baker.
Yep. There's lots of traffic to deal with here. MX-5s. It's a 3 MX-5 that they're passing now. They've got Andrews car, Billy Matthews, Samar, James Mansell car. Just to finish off here.
Great dive from the Mazda that went past it. Sort of less exotic cousin.
Head down the straight now towards the Abbey curve.
So they're going to catch the next car from
the Samuel Key car that's just being lapped. That's Bolton at the moment. The very 328R, 26 BMW.
Some view of Mazda. They've got Mazda fame.
Well, yes, although he wasn't in racing that car in the Mazda 7 race. He messaged me from the grandstand, so I was watching myself in this race. He's in Ryan Khan in the car this weekend. But, the timekeepers hadn't kept up with the swapping and changing of the drivers between that shared car. So Ryan Khan, it's classic stock catch race with the car today. There's the 141 car, which was the late addition to the programme, which is Warren Tattersall and Dave Ward. Warren Tattersall going first in that car.
Yeah, local transport Orlia. So the Audi behind is something a little bit different.
Yeah, that's Brad Kaler's TCR car. The TCR car looks great, doesn't it? Running in 12th, 13th position for these two. Tattersall's got ahead on this lap by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Brad Kaler, 87 Audi. Taking the way through the loop. Towards A-tree and the local straight once again. Straight now, disputing 12th and 13th position. So Class B still to go down to Vesta. Class C, so pick up David Lawrence at some point before with a 56 on the Civic top bar. He is comfortably leading in Class C. See one of the other F1s there for us coming through number 20. There's the 89 car down to Vesta. He's putting in 481 Edward Christie as well. Shepherd, Ginetta is back in by Nancy Leicester too. The Darkside golf.
That'll be a momentum car, won't it? The Ginetta.
There's our Class C leader in the Pacific F1 2, David Lawrence. And he's scheduled on the entry list to go with the Fridolf today, which part of the season, although on the timesheets that we had after qualifying, it's only Lawrence that was shown on there, but certainly I think we'll just Lawrence going solo today. To make his way through the Luffield towards the end of that comfortable leading movement, which is what that car needs to do to wrap up the Class C Championship this year. Lap completed by the Civic. Overall, it's 25th overall. So, just looking to see the cars that it's chasing now. I think that's the 240 car. That's the Sapra BMW, turquoise BMW. It's called sometimes as well. It's turquoise BMW with just Sapra. The 101 car there is the Stirling Camera Motorsport car of Nick Grove, the Londoner, BMW 130i. That's within Class B. There's three classes here, split on a pounds of weight basis. The cars in Class A, you've got 300 brake horsepower per tonne. Split for Class B is at 240, and Class C at 180 brake horsepower per tonne. And there's also the Club Enduro for older cars, it's 10 years old or more. But this is just Sapra now, who was out in the Burkitt relay yesterday, showing that car today with Brian Branson and Kevin Clark. So they're actually showing it three ways, so we're just going to stymie their chances of overall because they have to make an extra pit stop.
They had a miserable day, didn't they? All kinds of drivers. Kevin Clark went out really early, just Sapra was out very early in his session.
So news from the pit lane is that Will Stacey's front splitter has been broken. We haven't spotted that on the stream or the ones that are all around. Yeah, so they're hoping to get on to fix that. I'm pretty sure he's out there. Messaging news from the pit lane. You just saw there the Mazda MX-5. That's the bench digital bunch car in addition to the digital program. 71, also winning Speedway Shoulder Points, but that's when it's 5. Half-Court Racing Champion, sharing his car with the Freaky Parts man. Sandra, flying India on this car. So he makes his way through the corner to complete another lap. So Indy might come out on top of the cricket against England today as well, by the looks of the score at the moment.
There's a sort of widening, we call it a dry line.
Yes.
It's improving. And there is that a change at
Leeds, yeah.
Westlands. Well, not much room being given there coming into Luffield. Spoon-shaped corner, but Rob Baker wrested the lead back.
He did. It looked like he was going to lose out to Mark Rice there for the overall lead of the race, but Baker has wrestled him out of the way. So Baker still leading in car number 1 from second number 27. Oh, and problems for number 6. That's Dylan Richter. He's parked up now. The Audi TT is out of the race. It doesn't look like Ryan Parkin is going to get a go here. Dylan Richter holds up on the side of the road on lap 9 of the race. Let's stay with the leaders though, because they are picking up the pace now here, aren't they? As they fly through Beckett's corner on that lap, actually beached the best lap of the race, a 2:33.33 compared to a 2:34.27 for Rob Baker. And we've got a race on at the front of the field here.
Yep. And 2 cars from the VW group, the Volkswagen and the Seat Stroke Cupra. Straight line, as we say. 17 behind Rob Baker.
Certainly does. Down towards Vale they go then. 2 leaders on this track that is still spray being kicked up, but not as much as there was in the very early stages of this race 20 minutes or so ago. It's about 4, maybe 6 car lengths between Baker and Beach the crosswind. That's where the Richter car stopped, down there in the pit lane, and that's the view from on board the Darkside Maintenance car. The situation not developing particularly favourably for Richter there. Of the race and in the wrong pit lane for any work to be done on it. So the international pit lane will win, and then the national pit lane, and let's say starts and finish straight.
The Scott Parkin car, sister car, still leads B in the hands of Denzel Leicester. And here's a tricky situation. There's 2 cars compromising his exit from Aintree onto the Wellington Straight, and that allowed Mark Rice to read it just a little bit better and more time to work out where he was going to go. He's back on the rear bumper of Motorsport Baker.
Yeah, the cars that perhaps one of them was David Roberts, the classic, who was the Holdings of it Type R from Manoj Patel and Tom Gowing. I'm not sure who started that car, didn't get that information. One, Rob Baker leads 27, Mark Rice second, 90 Alan Wilson third, number 2 Harvey Caton is 4th, number 2 Joel Oswick is 5th, number 6th is 25 Darren Bolt, 7th is Dan Sylvester, Golf, 8th is 92 Andrew Raff, 9th is Luke Lex, 95 the Rolf Turner, top is 48 Bill Stacey. Third of the Class B was Chris
Right
Plaskett.
on over the Beckett's flick flack by the looks of things.
Yeah, that was the race leader. And he's actually come out there with a bigger lead than he had when he went in, I think.
Yeah, he maximised that one. And I think also Mark Rice, in his sense, probably backed off, not knowing where Baker was going to come back onto the circuit.
There's the little 74 Lotus Campbell Cassidy and Jones's car. Now, the Stormy Camel Motorsport car is just ahead of the race leader now, Rob Baker. Yeah, Rob Baker got started that, led by just about 6/10 of a second.
It's back down to next to nothing.
It is. So it's pretty academic there.
It ebbs and flows when they catch traffic a lot of the time. It's good for one of them, tends to inconvenience the other, and then it all kind of unravels next time through.
Right.
Ooh, that was a wide exit there for Mark Grice.
Right, the pit lane window should be open around about now, I would have thought, because we are 30 minutes into the race. So teams to the start take their pit stops in a moment now.
It's here with that differential between success ballast and the gold is carrying, and the car in second place, which doesn't, if I remember correctly, have a penalty.
That's right. Yes, it's really important here for Rob Baker to try and make a break, and he's got a few car lengths now, but he needed really 20 seconds is the penalty he's going to serve on the first pit stop. So he might, if he can start to make a bit of a break, try and stay out there for a reasonable length of time to score another. But he's got Bradley Burns to get in coming in the second half of the race. Bradley's a good driver.
He's got it a little bit out of shape there, having to fight it. The back just broke away a little for Rob Baker. And it's a good corner in left field. They come.
Yeah, to complete lap 11 of the race.
It's got out to over a second, bizarrely, because it's getting close again during the little stage of that lap.
Right, there's Paul Stacey, number 48. He's going to lap Cam Walton in the number 50 Toyota Yaris. That's a Class B car for the driver from Henfield. He's done some racing in Australia as well.
He's got Tattersall. That's right.
So also on there is the 66 goal of Paul Sabiani and Johnny Hayes. They're also getting past the 50 cars. So it must be for position as well. Further back, yes, it is for 31st position. Hamilton being passed by the Class C car there. And the Yaris that hasn't had much running in the last year or so. He's preparing in the pits.
Okay.
Side by side in between those two. Here we've got a good little battle going on here between David Lawrence and a car from the class above it. The 112 car, the 112 car for Mark Purcell and Tom Gannon.
Different eras of Honda Civic.
The FA2 behind, which was built by TCR.
Seen the Honda NSX out?
No, we've not. So that's been out with us in the past as well. 67 there was Julian McBride and his BMW M3. So this is a battle for position between the 23rd, 24th, 25th. And they're battling over. That's nice one to see. Joel Oswick makes a big quiet race in 5th position. He's got 15 seconds ahead of him, about 15 seconds behind him as well. So that's a quiet race for Joel. He was last year's champion from Class C. It's a Club Enduro Championship. Battle towards us, so Julian McBride has got himself between Nigel Patel, Tom Gannon and David Lawrence now. Through. Julian McBride should go a bit faster in a straight line, but is he going to be better on the brakes down into Village? No, and I think there, twisted bits, David Lawrence is going to be back at the BMW. Mighty car. He's on for Wellington straight that follows. Julian McBride steal a margin on both of them. He's pulled out of the slipstream to the left hand side of the circuit. He's got Joel Oswick behind him to lap him as well. Is McBride going to clear both of those cars? Yes, he is. He will go to 23rd position. I think that Joel Oswick slots himself past the two battling Hondas as well. It looks like Lawrence takes advantage of that to go past the Patel Gallen car too.
So changes. Front, it's back inside a second between Baker 1:27. Price.
Price has just done another fastest lap of the race at 2:32.90, and the gap between Price in second and Alex5 in third of Alan Hansen is nearly 10 seconds now. As we watch the Dan Sylvester, number 89, Darkside Developments Golf. There's sole remaining Darkside car in this race. making its way through, and this is going to be going. It's actually just lost out to Andrew Rath, who. Oh, and into the pits now comes Dan Silverstone. So into the pits comes Dan Silverstone. First of the people making him mandatory stop in this race, I think, so we'll stay on board with him for the moment. Mindful of the pit lane speed limit of 60 kilometres per hour. See if that's readout is right on the dash. He's doing about 57, 58 kph now. Not wanting to incur the wrath of the officials for the speed gun. And there's the Darkside car. You see it parked in at 45-degree angle. That's part of the regulations. Cars can't just drive straight in, and they have to be then pushed back by the tinny before they can get back out of the race. But that's not going to happen for a little while because it's a 3.5-minute stop that has been made here. So there's no need for the team to rush, and they do look relatively relaxed about how they're going about their business here. Brad Kaler's Audi, you can see he's heading into the pit lane as well. The fuel jug is marked Diesel, of course, because it's a diesel Golf here for the Class B League, the specialism of Darkside developments. Diesel tuning.
Here's the lead tussle. The duel continues into lap 14. And the gap between them got back down to under 0.6 of a second by Price. And you can see for yourself, actually, I reckon there's more spray now than there was a few laps ago.
Yeah, there is, and they're coming here to lap number 78, which is Matthew Stockford, who's in 19th place, the former Paralympic skier. He's continuing his racing career. Scott Parkin now gets his way into the Golf. Reasonably leisurely entrance to the car. Team's making sure he's all strapped in and ready to go. And the Darkside car will be back out in a couple of minutes, one would think. But 3.5 minutes stationary, possibly 30 seconds in and out of the pit lane. So it's about a 4-minute stop. So you're going to lose about a lap and a half here, aren't you, in these pit stops?
Something like that, as we're on to, what, 2 minutes 32, the best laps of the first two cars. And the Mazda in third place, 2:33 is its best.
Dan Silvester's out of the car, as you can see in the background, instantly recognisable. Nobody else in the paddock would sport that haircut. I can't talk.
We don't have enough of it. That's the problem.
Exactly.
Ian. If only we could.
Yeah, quite. Lap 14 of the race that we are running now. Interesting to see. An early stop here for the Darkside developments car. So Scott Parkin is going to have about an hour's driving in this race. He's going to have about 2/3, which is 1/3 for Dan Silvester, who's got another race to go anyway in an hour or so for the hot hatches.
He'll be trying to do a double, won't he? Because he won the early one.
Yeah, that's right, and hopefully getting more racing laps in it as well. So the team carefully timing the stop. You see James Winstanley from the 750 Motor Club down there as well. He'll be keeping an eye on the stopwatch as well. Into the pits comes Jazz Sapra in the 240 car, so he's going to hand over to either Kevin Clark or Brian Branson. And they're splitting the driver three ways, so it makes sense that they're coming in after about half an hour to split the driving pretty equally. Meanwhile, Baker has come through again to complete lap 14 now. Gap's got out to 0.8 of a second on that lap. Meanwhile, Scott Parkin is being pushed into the pit lane and back out into the race. There he goes.
Yep.
Heading down the pit lane, past the green light. End of the speed limit, and back into the race he will go. And there's the Brad Kaler car also making its exit from the pit lane.
Oh, look at this. The two BMWs have done very sensibly and stayed in sort of the middle of the track, haven't they?
Oh, and off goes the leader. The leader's off the circuit onto the grass on the hanger straight. Rob Baker rejoins now. They went either side of the BMWs, but it's Will Beat, Mark Rice, I should say, that's benefited from that and taken the lead.
And it was the compact there, wasn't it? 66 and Dave Griffin, they were lapping. And the two BMWs just sat in the middle of the road. and were quite happy to let the TCR type cars go each side of them. And the next thing we saw from a different camera angle was that leader Rob Baker was autocrossing.
I wonder if that's going to prompt a pit stop very soon now, because there's some grass that has, you know, hopefully not got into anywhere it shouldn't do. But he did well to keep it on the island, really.
Yeah, he did.
Because that grass would be very treacherous at the moment. And he was losing the lead. So it was 0.8 of a second he led by at the start of the lap, and he's got now a couple of back markers between himself and the new race leader, Mark Grice. Grice, of course, along with Will Beach, looking to take enough points here to win the championship, take it away from Rob Baker and Bradley Burns. Carl Swift, I think, was in the car right in the beginning of the season as well. Rob Baker's just had the one win so far this year. That came at Snetterton with Bradley Burns. Let's head down to the pit lane now. Josh Barrett is going to be down there. Who's he got?
So we're down here in the pit lane after the first lot of pit stops, and Dan Sylvester, new car for you, and a good first stint in tricky conditions.
Yeah, it was a good first stint. Managed to get in front of the class, get the class lead, and yeah, it was all over the shop a bit because we thought we were all going to get 2 green flag laps and we only got 1, so it was all a bit scattered at the start. But yeah, the car feels mega. It's the golf last weekend, so appreciate Scott letting me take it out, and yeah, hopefully he can bring home a win.
It's obviously been a very successful car for Scott, so your first time racing it. Okay, the conditions aren't ideal, but what do you think of it?
It's a brilliant car, yeah, I really like it. I've driven it on track before, on track days, and it's really good. For a diesel Golf, that's what you've got to remember what it is, it's a diesel Golf, so yeah, it's wicked.
You mentioned there that it's the last time for the car, so can you tell us about the plans for the team for next year?
Oh, well, I might be revealing secrets there, I don't know, but I'm grateful to Scott for letting me take it out anyway, because I'm currently top 10 on Autosport nationally, that's why he's let me drive it. If we get a couple of wins this weekend, I might be up near the top, so that's why I'm here. So thanks to Scott for letting me take his car out. It's been a pleasure.
And obviously, you're quite new to racing really, but this year you've driven so many different types of cars. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I've been in the MR2 and the Darkside TT and my Civic, and yeah, I just discovered a few years ago that I really like driving, and racing is the kind of ultimate way to do that on a weekend. So yeah, I'm loving it. It's been good.
And obviously you broadcast it all online as well, your weekends. That's quite a big effort to put in, but quite rewarding with lots of viewers.
Yeah, I enjoy making videos almost as much as I enjoy driving. So yeah, it's great. It's all good.
Well, best of luck for the best racing. Good luck later on as well.
Thank you.
So there is Dan Sylvester at the number 89 Class B Volkswagen Golf TDI.
Right, Josh, you need to head down the pit lane towards the garage where Team 1, Motorsport, are. Rob Baker's brought his car into the pit lane now to hand over to Brad Burns after he had that off earlier on that lap along the hanger straight as he was trying to negotiate back markers. Into the lead has gone Mark Grice, leading by 3.6 seconds at the end of that. That will increase, of course, to around about 11 seconds because the car will move up to P2 with the Alan Henderson Mazda MX-5. Up to third place will go Harvey Caton in the same Cupra. Up to fourth will go number 2 Joel Osborne in the BMW 4. Up to fifth will go number 25 Darren Hall in the Cupra. And the Seat Leon new Eurocup car, of Andrew Rath, will be in sixth place once all of this washes out. There is Scott Parkin. And there is Chris Plaskett, number 91. Has stopped right at the end of the pit lane by the looks of it, the area motorsport end of the pit lane. That's the car that was in 14th place before it stops, and I think third in class B.
Chris Plaskett at Hamptons, Surrey. Business. Borders. Here comes the 22, the Browse family BMW with that slot in the roof, automatic.
Yeah, Luke Browse at the wheel of that car at the moment, Charlie Dark at the wheel of the 235 car. There's the 19 Lotus going through as well. That's the Class B car, Peter Mansfield driving around to Michael Sanford.
So last time we saw Crown Paint on the side of the race car was Warren Booth's Chevron Formula 2 car in the Aurora Championship.
That's quite a few years ago.
Yes, back in the 70s.
So that's the Stockford Audi 78 going through. And also out there is the number 42 Lotus. We could see that's Marco Anastasi. The Lotus at 111R, the drive from Edinburgh.
So longer stop awaiting for that. So there's Baker Burns car now. Brad Burns.
Yeah, that was should have been at least a 3-minute 20-second pit stop, of course, because of the penalty that they had to serve. So that car going back out into the race. This plastic car is already back out into the race. It's B contender, also an Area Motorsport prepared car. And we joined laps on it. There's the erstwhile leader, though, Brad Burns now with a one car. Yeah, we would have lost around about a lap and a half, I think, after making that stop. Which for Potty, it's probably somewhere around 17th, 18th, hard to see exactly where it feeds in.
Yeah, it's still dropping on this because the other two finish their 16th lap. Only halfway around it.
Right. Making his way down towards the Vale now. Brad Burns, I think about 55 minutes of racing here. Off the 100. Oh, and the plastic car's now got off. It's out of the pit lane and it's now hit the barriers by the looks of it there.
Front barrier at the front end, and it's where it is.
I'm sure the teams will be keeping an eye on that situation.
Rather steroidal Janetta 14, which is the Primrose car.
Just a reminder, pit stops cannot be taken under safety car conditions. If you are in,
You're
in, but you cannot make it when the safety car board has been out there. There will be teams, I'm sure, looking at the street and looking at opportunities like that that might present themselves. Because if you can effectively make a bit of a free stop with the safety car, then that's good strategy.
And also, if you've got extra time to serve as a result of previous results.
That's right. For bonus to
Lucy Buffett.
absolutely. So, class positions, Class B being led still by Luke Levitt now, of course, after Dan Sylvester came in, and second in Class B now. It's actually the MX-5 of Ben Short. Class C being led by David Lawrence. He's up to 19th overall now, as other cars have made their pit stops ahead. Matthew Baldry is second within that class, and he is around about a minute behind David Lawrence already. They do have similar F2 Civics at disposal. Brad Kaler car, that's one that's made its stop, so it's a bit further back down the order, 29th it is, made its pit stop. The Bradley Burns car had completed its 16th lap and it's done so in 14th position, so 14th place it's gone through. Effectively very nearly 2 laps behind the leader though. Bryce who's yet to make a stop. To watch Brad Kaler through. The Mazda just ahead of him on the road. That is that the treble 3 car may well be of Michael Hooper. Make their way down. So yes, just ahead of that is the Yaris of Cam Walton. So there are twos in the past as well. There's the Gannon and Manoj Patel road-going Honda Civic, and there is the race leader, Mark Rice, almost halfway through this race now. 50 minutes left to go of the 100-minute race. There's the gap first to second, 11 seconds.
It's been pretty consistent.
Interesting, they're lapping the 235s, the first two. About 3 seconds or so of what they are capable of, and maybe that is just the traffic.
And I think it has become kind of greasier.
Yeah, it's in that sort of very tricky phase now, isn't it? Where it's neither full wet or full dry, it's just greasy and very difficult to drive.
There's a 95 car, that's the Schlevitz Club Enduro Sport Golf. It's running in 8th place.
As we are now halfway through the race, there's a couple of cars coming into the pit lane. The number 7 Mazda of Roger Sparrow, 23 Matthew Porter. On a quick rundown on the order, it is 27 that is leading in Mark Ross will beat in the second Cupra. Second, number 19 Daniel Irvine in the Mazda. Third, number 82 Ben Williams, Harvey Case in the Cupra. Fourth, number 2 Joel Oswick in the BMW number 4. Fifth, number 25 Darren Ward in the Cupra. Sixth, number 141 Warren Tastel or Dave Ward in the Euro Cup. Similar car for number 92 in 7th place, Phil number Andrew Raff. 8th, number 95 Luke Hesper in Luke Schlavitt's coming for the Golf. 9th, number 40 James Collins, Brett Lindsay in the M3. 10th, number 22 Warren Luke Browse in the BMW 603 GTR. And then second in Class B, Red Short, Stuart Much in 15th. Third in Class B, Nick Grove, Carlo Turner in the BMW. Have yet to make that stop though. Class C being led by number 56 David Lawrence. From number 23, Matthew Porter and James Johnston. Third of the cars within the class is the Tom Stedman Mike Michael Hooper Mazda MX-5. 48 and 3/4 minutes of the race left to go. Pit stops well underway. Looks like the number 23, James Johnson, Matthew Daughtry Honda being refueled there. There's the Johnny Hayes and Paul Subiani BMW 318. Like they're changing wheel on that one. A different tread pattern on the one that they're taking off, so they're going to a drier tyre by the looks of it for the remaining phase of the race. They've had 4 laps on all the looks. It's not exactly Formula 1 speeds.
It doesn't need to be with a 3-minute stop, does it?
No, of course it needs to be.
The U-Royals on the start of the racing track.
Fascinating watching the team work.
There's a team observer screaming 2 minutes 20 in the background.
No, not putting pressure on the team at all.
Not at all, no.
Come on, faster!
On the old guns.
So that was just going through shot there. The race leader Mark Bright, 10 seconds. Has that been down the bottom?
Yeah, 8 seconds.
Yeah, to Alan Henson and Mazda. It's actually got an empty track. Slow at the moment. There's the Battalion Gannon Honda making its way through. It's not that we see anybody else. For one car, that's the addition to the programme. Running in 6th, Tassel and Woodward car. There on the screen now, for those of you watching on the live stream, number 95, Luke Schlevitz in the Java Sport Golf.
I think it's wanted there was a change in the BMWs. Luke Browse has taken the 22, the bright green car. This day might be going past the Collins and Lidsley.
Yes, that's
It's close in behind. David Griffin's pretty close in there with the darts as well.
that second behind. This stage of the race. 95 there is the Glover car lapping Julie McBride's BMW. You just see Ant Baldwin heading down the pit lane as well. And over to Sam McKee. There is the Brad Burns car number 1. Now it was 14th, it is still 14th at the moment. It's not made up any more places. It's about 24 seconds behind the Matthew Stratford Audi.
That's Charles looks BMW behind. She's running in 4th place.
Okay, so enough fuel going into the Hayes and Subiani car. Rather fair, this is going to go over the minimum pit stop, which is going to be 3 minutes 20 for this team because of their penalty. Yeah, they're going to be well over 3 minutes 20, I think. Still fuel going into the car. And Johnny Hayes will be out of the
another
race.
luggage up to happen.
Yeah, need to get some more fuel into the car as well. To make sure it can get to the end. It's got 45 minutes to do to get to the end of the race, so we've got another good tanks.
20 laps. Mazda is a couple of seconds closer to the leading 27 car, so it's right still ahead. 90, the Henderson Mazda, 8.2 seconds behind, and so on 20 laps, the 32 car, on Caton.
It's the Alex Baldwin Sam McKee car. Sam McKee due to get into it shortly. 36. Meeting within Class C this weekend. Now there's the battle we talked about a moment ago.
Yeah, Aussie David Griffin pushing on. The Bespoke Motorsport BMW and that Diet Coke Aussie touring car delivery. Oh dear, 30 going to the gravel track.
That's Neil Huggins in the Exceed, driver from Hemel Hempstead. He's had a moment.
He is back out of the gravel track. Just visited.
It's Griffin continuing to put pressure on Chevrolet Giant. This for the final position inside the top 10 as things stand. Those drivers yet to make their pit stops though.
Different eras of BMW 3. Latest car. Much smaller through the air car of Dave Griffin, who while trying to dart rides over the curb on the outside of Club, takes advantage and tucks up the inside into Army Corner, taking that place away.
Much wider cars than the normal 2-3 level. That is the main cars have got this one much wider on parking spaces.
They were thought race wear resistant. It would not be as fuel efficient, but it's still stronger because there's more metal around the top of things.
That's right.
From the road version, less than 4 gauges.
Exactly. So Crown Paint's car looking splendid, but losing out to Dave Griffin there in the M3 ahead, with the back going on. Not for position necessarily, because Harvey Caton, the number 82 car, is the car that's in third place at the moment, Cooper. There's the
crowds behind.
There's the Storm and Connell car. Colo Turner's going to get into that one, I think. Low start of the car.
And again, a few tenths nibbled back by the driver of the Mazda 82. That's Caton in from third place.
Yeah, that's into the pit lane now. Watching the 1 series be fueled. Let's get that back out into the second half of the race. Now, I don't know if that's right or not, but we've got a new fastest lap of the race. A 2-minute 30 for the 240 car, which is the car started by Jazz Sapper, which now either Kevin Clark or Brian Ransom at the wheel. And if that's right, 2:30.57, that's a second and a half faster than anybody else has managed during the course of this race. The car is down in 18th position. They didn't have a particularly strong start to the race. But nevertheless, on on-time experience at the moment, that is now the best lap of the race. 2:30.57 for either Kevin Clark or Brian Branson. Kevin Clark.
Darth Vader.
It is. Slightly sinister. Appearance, the silver helmet and the reflective goggles, which will want to know that individual's identity. Here's Johnny Dark in the Crown Paint's car.
Tattersall's moved up into 5th place in his Seat. Warren Tattersall, 141. And 19 into the pits now.
Peter Mansfield Lotus he'll hand over to Michael Sanford. Into the pits as well comes the Mazda from second place. So the Mazda into the pits from second place. Alan Henderson with an hour of the race gone, 40 minutes of the race left to go. Now hopefully we'll get a view on that in the pit lane in a moment. See whether we're going to get a driver change in that car. I think it was Alan Henderson that started. That's Joshua down there as well to let us know what's going on. Just remind me, I should look at my phone see if he sent me any more messages. The problem with the Dylan Prichter Ryan Parkin TT, by the way, was a blown injector. That's now being fixed. So hopefully that car will get back out again.
Nothing at all on track. Pretty severe at Silverstone.
Yeah, absolutely right. Luke Browse coming into the pit lane now, I can see, in the number 22 car. There's a slightly bit busier pit lane now. There's 7 or 8 cars there inside the top 10. There's the number 1 car through. That's now back up into 8th position, Bradley Burns in the Golf. So mainly these other cars have made their stops ahead of it, I think, rather than making it much track position. He's lapping faster than a few of the cars there. However, that's because a few of them have gone to the pits. But talking of the pits, let's head down to Josh Barrett and see who's got to touch it this time.
So you can see the AK Automotive Mazda MX-5 made its way down to the pit lane, and Alan Henderson out of the car, but the bonnet has been put up, so potential dramas for this car that's had such a good opening stint on a car that's had lots of development over the year, trying to get it to be quick, which it certainly is today, but also reliable, which has been the issue up to now. And Alan Henderson himself getting involved, which with whatever the repair that is necessary. Here, the piping has been loosened by the looks of things. Daniel Irving is being strapped into the car, so they're hoping to get the car back out. A replenishment of fluid, possibly here. Hopefully you've got a good view of that, both Ian and Marcus, and might be able to describe better than what my particular vantage point is, but they're rushing to try and get this done within the 3-minute period. That is the minimum pit stop time, but it looks like that could be difficult. As more cars make their way down the pit lane, it's pretty crowded down here because they're all making their way down into the pits, all in a sort of a small section. So a lot of the teams having to discuss with their fellow garage team to make sure that they don't pit at the same time where it could be too crowded. So the engine has been refired on the Mazda. Meanwhile, the number 19 Lotus is making its way out. Peter Mansfield started that one. And it should be Mike Stanford taking it out. So that's another one that's headed back out onto the circuit.
Thanks, Josh. Edward Christie we could see in the pit lane there. There is the Stockford 78 Audi. Past the Crown Paint Charlie Dark 235 car. And that I don't think is for position, because I think...
Had the Stockford going in, was it? No, it's the other one. 235 going in. That's the Dark. Charlie Dark starting.
It was for police actually, although they've now gone in. Dan Irving now about to head out in the Mazda by the looks of it. Back out into the pit lane and back out into the race with 36 minutes left to go.
Maybe Josh can find out what's actually happening. Pumping some oil on top of the engine for the second bit of pumping, but I couldn't see where the first nozzle was going. It's being used for the first time.
235 in then, Charlie Dark into the pit lane. Now there is Will Stacey now. He was in for an early stop, wasn't he? Where is he running now? He's 18th at the moment, so not really in contention.
Baker and Burns are up to 6th in the number 1 car.
And there's grass in the front of the air intake there and the radiator on that car, so I think Will Stacey's been off somewhere. Necessitating another pit stop to just try and clear that out. Unless that's from the early part of the race.
Yeah, sort of on the splitter, isn't it? Doesn't seem to be impeding the radiator.
Into the pits we can see 95 has come from 5th place, the Class B leader Luke Schlevitz, to hand over to his teammate Kevin Glover. There's Stacey. Winner, I think 3 times during the course of the season. All the winners this year have been Rob Baker, Mark Bryson will beat you from one, and Luke Sargent and Josh Files, who were in the invitation class, had a win as well. That was at Spa-Francorchamps, annual foreign jaunt for Club Enduro. Cars heading down towards the Vale once again. That's the 56 car Class C leader, David Lawrence. He's running at 21st at the moment. I don't think he's made a stop as yet, which he would need to. He's leading Class C. No, maybe, I think he must have made a stop. He's less than a lap ahead of the Johnson car as we're watching the Lotus go slowly. It's now sort of picking up a little bit of speed, isn't it? So, as it comes out of Woodcote Corner. It's the 47 car of Maurizio Sciglio as we head down to Josh Barrett once again.
So we're down here with Alan Henderson out of the absolutely awesome Mazda MX-5. Alan, a really good stint. We'll come to that in a minute. In the pit stop, you had to go to work in the engine. Was there any issues there?
Just a little bit heavy on oil breathing. We thought we may have fixed it, but clearly not, because it's still filling the catch can a bit more than we'd like, and when the oil level gets down, we start getting dips in oil pressure on the brakes, so we need to make sure we got some back in the engine, otherwise end of engine.
Tell us a bit about this car. They've been lots trying to get the car out so many times this year. Snedden went well, and then I think the suspension issue, but today things seem to be going a little bit better.
Yeah, it's going better. I mean, the car was so unique. End of last year we were supposed to go testing, we didn't. So we've been testing through this year, finding all the little issues, and when it's going well, but we've still got some little issues to iron out there. I chose the wrong tyres there as well, to be fair. Started on wets, which is probably the tyre at the start, but as it's dried, it's too greasy, the tyres aren't really working that well, but I can't be bothered to change them, so we've got what we've got.
I guess this is like the furthest the car's gone in race conditions anyway, so that's the main thing, I guess, today, trying to get the car to get to the end.
Yeah, I mean, after Donington, we failed on the test day at Donington, we thought that would be it for the year. We managed to get all the bits together to fix it, and we thought we would enter Silverstone, see if we can get a full race length under a belt, and then try and build on that next year.
Because the car has been developed, it's a Mark 1 Mazda, I understand, so it's a massive development to get it to where it is now, in terms of what the team have done to the car, if you can.
Well, engine-wise is still MX-5, not massive power, it's about 300 horsepower. Suspension-wise, it's 50mm wider, it's got big wheels so we can get big brakes, because brakes are normally an issue over a long time on an MX-5. BMW DCT gearbox, because gearboxes are a bit of an issue on MX-5, so we went with that. So it's a bit like a PlayStation, just pulling gears. It's good.
And the livery on it really makes it, doesn't it? I think it's an old IMSA livery.
It is, yeah. We weren't sure what to do with the livery, and I just saw I like blue cars, and I like white cars, and I saw that livery and I thought, perfect, we'll go for that. It just stands out.
Obviously, you race Mazda MX-5s in one mate racing. Is this a very different car to drive with all the developments?
It couldn't be further. I mean, to be fair, it still has some traits of a Mark 1 MX-5. It's just everything's happening a lot faster. But then obviously with the air or the high speed stuff's completely different.
And obviously in a race situation you stand out a little bit there against the front wheel drive cars. You seem, it was only that first part, I know you said you were on perhaps different tyres, but the first part you seem to be keeping on quite well.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, to be fair. I was a bit ginger on the brakes because we haven't got ABS, so I was conscious not to be locking up, and I was fiddling with brake bias, trying to get that balance nice. And then once we started getting into the traffic, I lost a little bit there, and then I was kind of holding station a bit, and then the tyres started to feel like they were dropping away, but I was catching, I think it's Will that's in the car on the TCR, I was starting to catch gradually again towards the end there. But we'll see what Dan does.
And now, like you said, you're planning now for a full season next year?
Yeah, I mean, it was supposed to be a full season this year, but obviously that hasn't went well, so yeah, if we can get the full race under our belt, we'll get on top of this engine breathing issue, and hopefully we'll just keep going.
Thanks for having a chat. Everyone likes the car here on the commentary team, so it's great to have it here. So there's Alan Henderson out of that number 90 Mazda MX-5, which we know now a little bit more about, and about their issues in the pit stop.
Thanks very much, Josh. In the meantime, we've got Mark Rice still leading the way in the number 27 Cupra, and that's the car in second place now. Number 2, Joel Oswick, who is a minute 43 behind the lead. So terrific end of a lap behind. There's Will Stacey, who's in 40th place, just a couple of laps down on the race leader. There's the Mazda, just talking to Alan Henderson, who drove the car for the first 2/3 of the race.
Lapping quicker than a couple of cars ahead of him by about 5 seconds a lap at this point.
Yeah, so we'll see how Dan Irving goes. He's running in 7th place at the moment, having made that pit stop. Brad Kaler with the 87 Audi just behind for the moment.
Yeah, that's done 15th place. It's a lap drift.
Indeed. Fastest car out there, though, is still the number 240, E36 M3, with either Kevin Clark or Brian Vanderpool. I don't know if Josh can find out who is driving that car. It was Jan Sapp for the first part of the race, but with Kevin and Brian, it's going great guns, that car, and lapping, well, a second faster than Brad Burns is, for example, about 3 seconds faster than Brad Burns is at the moment in the Golf. So the next fastest man out there right now. Here's Joel Oswick. Just a couple of the Lotuses into. There is the car that's fastest at the moment, the 240 car. It is running in 9th position now. Was about 5 seconds behind the car. It's about to overtake, I think, at the start of the lap. So that is 4th position. It's for 8th position now, ahead of the Ben Williams and Harvey Caton Cooper. That has been in, hasn't it? That
Yeah,
car.
they've got their tyre choice right. It looks things it's on the rail.
It does, doesn't it? So that's why it's going so quickly now. So that's the car that's forging its way into contention. That's the Yaris that's getting some fuel on board.
Matthew Stockford into pits from 5th place in car 78. So in 3rd is the Tattersall and Walcott looking at Warren Tattersall.
There it is, that BMW just surfaced car heading down towards us with either Clark or Branson at the wheel. Its way through the left-hander. And the right-hander left field corner. And accelerating now towards the right-hander with the sun beaming down on Silverstone now. The rain has gone. It's looking like quite a pleasant afternoon out there again now, but still the track drying. We had before lunch, so not as quick that time actually for the BMW. Now there is the car that is still leading. It's still out there, Mark Bright, 27.
Still sporting the evidence of the damage from yesterday's 6-hour race. The front corner was ripped out of it. Contact with the BMW. That's going in the Ibn Rath 92. 235, 229, I should say, it's the quickest of all currently. Brad Burns doing 231s. Changes of order in the next 5 or 6 laps, I would think. Still with 26.5 minutes to go. That's Joel Oswick. BMW, that's running in 2nd place.
I'm just putting a lap on Will Stacey and the Lotus there already, not quite as they go through Aintree. So it's a bit more agile.
They were together here last time, weren't they? So the other Lotus for company.
Yeah.
Oswick looking for space to go past the Lotus and try to outbrake him. The Lotus weighs about half, I should think, the BMW. So that's backing from that's the backing from Mr. Stanley, head of the Stanley company. Wonderful enthusiasm.
Genuine ride in the number 67 car now. Oswick heading in, yeah. And there is only about 10 minutes or so of the pit lane window being open, so about 4 laps. So haven't got too much time to play with there. He was going to be timed out of his mandatory stop. So that's going to promote briefly, I think, the Tattersall Ward car.
Dave Griffin in.
From 6th place.
In number 6. 6 laps down for Griffin.
So looking at it, once the stops have played out, the question is going to be, is the Brad Burns car going to be behind the beach car? Motorsport and Tatsu, the two cars between them in the classification.
Way off track. Say at the back of the picture.
Phil Nibb that now is in the number 92 car in 10th place.
Coming onto the Wellington straight.
Just behind Paul Prowse, who's taken over the Stone Marketplace BMW.
Son. Interesting that the Mazda, the number 90 Mazda, is going to profit from a couple of cars that have currently making their stops, including this one.
Some more Diet Coke being added to the 134 car. David, do you think?
Still missed.
Be the holy grail of the future of the internal combustion engine.
Very good for getting in pennies.
Yes. So there's the 90 car. That's the car of Dan Irving now. So he's running sixth at the moment. So after the pit stops, he is. Yeah, but he's lost out to the Burns car. The stops, I think.
Yes, that's up to third.
Yeah. It was a longer stop than it ought to have been for the Mazda, was Alan Hansen describing the reasons for the issues with the oil needing to be repatriated from the couch tank. That's the number 90 car, Michael Sanford should say. There's the two car Oswald in the pit lane, the German Auto Works car. My bicycle house. Proprietors racing with us as well at Donington, having come over from the States. The 240 car looks like it's been an hour of a bit of gain, so the quickest car out there has done another driver change. So it's now
Yes,
onto
we
its
knew
third
it had
driver.
to do 3 plus team.
Yeah, exactly. Drivers taking their turn. Obviously that's limited their chances somewhat.
The second line, which is the second stop, a shorter stop as such.
Doesn't need to be 3 minutes,
No.
so they can just do that as quickly as they like, as quickly as they can. But yeah, not another 3 minutes required.
The 90 Mazda is now back up into 4th place because they haven't had Joel Oswick out. His pit stop, so it may well be that Baker and Burns have taken the lead car. Now that's
There's still one Royce in there. It's still Royce. We've not had a pit stop for that car yet, and we were told it was Mark Royce starting. I think earlier Alan Hansen alluded to. In fact, he thought it was Will Beach in the car. But Mark Royce is what we're told.
against Oswick.
So he's going back out into the race. Joel Oswick, what's his season been like in terms of results? Just trying to have a look down our sheet here. As strong as it might have been.
That's the beach cars will stop fairly soon now, isn't it? Because not for anything else, they've done 29 laps. They're a lap and a half clear of anything else, but they're going to lose much of that time. That's buffer.
Absolutely. Joel Oswick had 3 third places before today. Those came at Alton, Spa, and at Donington. That's the Donington Grand Prix circuit there. Grand Prix circuit to end with the Montreal season. That's the 141 car, which I think is still Warren Tattersall. I don't think it's had a stop yet.
Did come in 26 laps.
Okay, so it's probably just not filtered through on our timing screen to its positions yet.
Oswick behind.
And then Alan James who's taken over the 78 Audi. And there is the Brad Burns car, number 1. So that's now up to second on the screens as well. A lap and some behind Will Beach.
When Matthew Stopford and Alan James switch, do they flick the controls back to other than hand controls?
I don't know. I don't know the answer.
I'm intrigued to know.
So we need to keep an eye on this car. We also need to keep an eye on the leading car of Mark Rice and Will Beach, because that needs to come into the pits in the next couple of laps to make its mandatory stop. It's these two really down in contention for the Class A Championship. I think Will Stacey's doing 10th overall and 7th or 8th in Class A. And into pits has come the leader, by the way. Just come in now. Will Stacey's probably ruled himself out of the championship battle as far as Class A is concerned. But there is the leader into the pit, the number 27 Capture Motorsport Seat Cupra. And it is right at the end of the pit lane. I always thought he was going to drive all the way through the pit lane there, but the very last garage 12E, is where we find Will Beach and Mark Rice. Yeah, we can see Will Beach standing in the doorway to the pits there, so he's going to get in the car to take over from Mark for the last only about 17 minutes of the race.
90 Mazda is back into 3rd place.
It is, but I think pretty much almost a lap behind the Golf with Bradley Burns ahead of it now.
Yeah, I'm just seeing where he is, 40 seconds clear of Joel Oswick.
Just looking at the situation in Class C, David Lawrence is about a minute or so ahead of James Johnson now, who's taken over the car from Matthew Hawtrey, number 23. So comfortably leading Class C. And should be good, therefore, for the Class C title. So that's the James and Stockford car. And just on our screens now, we've got the 141 car and the number 1 car as well of Bradley Burns. And just behind, isn't he, the 2 car of Joel Oswick. So Oswick is basically a lap adrift, or is about to be a lap adrift of number 1.
Right up the curve to the outside, Oswick's got the grunt in a straight line. Will the Golf be able to go on the outside? It won't. It dives across to the inside into Abbey and takes the place. Okay, it's just a notional place. Let's see that Oswick is in 4th place.
What we need to see is where when Mark Rice and so Will Beach is going to go back out into this race. So Burns has got Wellington Straight, Brookland, Scuffield, Woodcut, and start-finish straight to go.
Not a lot of space on the outside of Aintree, is there? So switch back to the inside. That's Ward in the 141, starting by Warren Tattersall.
Interesting to see if the 27 car is ready to go from the. By the way, the 240 car has done 2:28.24, so another new fastest lap for that car. It's up to 8th position now, with either Brian Bransmore or Kevin Clark at the wheel. So here's the number 1 car coming through Woodcut Corner. There is the 27 car. Should still be in the pit lane, we believe. But is it about to head out? We can't tell, because we're looking now at the number 100 car that is well down the order. There is the Mazda, and there's the 27 car going back out into the race. But which is ahead? Is it the Bradley Burns car, number 1, or is it the number 27 car that is ahead? That's what we're waiting to see. That's the car that's going to be in 3rd place.
That's
I
a
think.
Stowe.
That's a Stowe. And there is the Grice car, the Will Beach car, and he's behind Bradley Burns now, I think. I think Bradley Burns has gone through to take the lead in the race. Now that's quite something if he has, given the extra penalty that they had to serve at the pit stop. There's the 82 car, Ben Williams now going out into the race. So there's Oswick. There is the 27 car in the background. We're trying to pick up on our cameras though the number 1 Golf. We'll see if that's already arriving at Vale though, which I think it probably is doing. Yes, it is. There's the confirmation. So our new race leader then, Bradley Burns in the number 1 car. And that's going to help them to win the championship if it stays this way.
Yeah, it's by a few hundred metres, isn't it? And here comes Bradley Burns. A couple of Lotuses to negotiate on the way out to Abbey. Looks inside the first one, didn't plenty of room, I'm glad to say. It's all changed in the pit stop.
Yeah, if it stays this way, I think the season will end after drop scores with Baker and Burns on 64 points and Beach and Bryce on 60 points. But it's been a good drive by Bradley Burns, because before Bryce made his pit stop, he's just been banging in consistent laps, just taking probably 2 or 3 seconds a lap out of Bryce there.
He's a very good young driver, that's for sure. I saw him in historic racing a few years ago. He's from Farnham in Surrey.
So yeah, a lot of work to do here for Will Beach. If he's going to wrest the championship away, he needs to get ahead of Brad Burns, but I think he's probably going to need some kind of mistake. We've only got less than 15 minutes to go, so probably 7 laps, maybe 6 laps.
That's the thing, it was 3 minutes and 12 seconds that Baker and Burns were behind over the timing line, and we know that the car has come out behind him, so he's lost some ground.
Yeah, and there he is about to come into. There we go, through Woodcock corner, we put in the timing line any moment now, 19 seconds behind.
That's all Ward is now 4th ahead of Oswick.
Yeah, that's right.
It's the 141 ahead of Sucho Oswick in the BMW. And Phil Nib is in 6th place in his Seat number 92. Williams and Caton on the 82.
Right, so we're into the last 15 minutes, so we can give you a rundown on the order to make some kind of sense now. So number 1, Bradley Burns is leading the way for Area Motorsport. Number 27, Will Beach is 2nd for Capture Motorsport. 3rd is number 90, that's Dan Irving in the Mazda MX-5. 4th is 141, which is Dave Ward now in the Set Leon Euro Cup. 5th, number 2, John Oswick. 6th, number 92, Phil Nib now in the Leon Euro Cup. 7th, number 82, Ben Williams. 8th is the 240 kilometre, either Kevin Clark or Brian Branson, BMW. 9th and leading Class B is number 95, that's Kevin Glover now. 10th is number 48, Will Stacey. 2nd in Class B is Dan Sylvester. Scott Parker now. Doesn't look like Dan Sylvester's going to get another win for his Autosport tally, unfortunately, today.
The Casco Doro.
Indeed.
The golden helmet.
That's right. 3rd in Class B is Ben Short and Stuart Murch in the Mazda MX-5. Stuart Murch now in the wheel of
Is that the position?
No.
92.
Yes,
Niven Rabbit.
it is.
Port Oswick.
It is. So Oswick's dropped out of the top 5 there for Class C. Just to explain there, 56 David Lawrence leading the way from 23 Matthew Buttery and James Johnson, and 36 Sam McKee and Alex Bolden. So Sam McKee had a strong final stint to the race. So it looks like it's going to be a Class A championship for Rob Baker and Bradley Burns, and a Class C championship for David Lawrence. And there's the Class B leading car.
Yeah, which is Kevin Glover in number 5. He's 9th, and nearest to them parking Sylvester, then 23 seconds down with 11 minutes to go. Now, Scott Parkin last time around at 2:39. Glover at 2:38, so Parkin and then probably at the same time, so I don't see 20 odd seconds being catchable.
And that's the fastest car on circuit at the moment. This BMW M3 Pistachio car, and making its way along the Wellington Straight into the final 11 minutes or so of this race. This is an invitation class car, so it's not scoring points in the championship.
It's gone out by 7 seconds between first and second.
Now it's 2:29 for Brad Burns, who's been doing those kind of lap times fairly consistently, and a 2:36 for Will Beach, which would have been his first flying lap, I think, won't it?
Now the Tattersall and Ward Seat 141 is lapping 3.5 seconds quicker than the 90 Mazda in 3rd.
But it's half a minute or so behind, I think, isn't it?
So I think that's going to be a good chase, but I don't think it's going to reverse at the current rate.
Down to the brackets sequence goes the BMW.
Leading on that Yeah, super.
Obviously, because of the conditions, not getting any lap records here. The lap records were set 4 years ago when we last raced on this layout, back in October 2019. 2:19.79 was the lap record for Owen Fitzgerald. So about 9 seconds off that in the case of the fastest lap of this race so far. About 12 seconds off it in Class B. So conditions have been a bit tricky. They've improved all the time. Well, improved in the sense of they've got less wet all the time, although that's not necessarily made them easier on a linear basis. Still a bit of spray being kicked up, but maybe as much as there was earlier on. So here's Schnavitz, and this is driving 9th place. He's putting a lap on Griffin there, who is I'm trying to find where Griffin is in the
He's down in 15th, down 34.
That's right.
Irving, a slower lap at 2:41. That's 5 seconds to lead them now. Ken Ward close in the 141 car.
Back out on circuit there, you can see the number 6 car. That'll be Ryan Parkin now above the Audi TT. Dylan Britt having started the car, but it had those issues that have been rectified yet and injected, but it's only running its 9th lap of the race at the moment. The leaders are running lap
Never give up.
34.
Never give up. Now another 3 seconds clawed back by Ward in the 141. 29 seconds between 3rd and 4th place. But look, he's got the Nib and Rath car in his tail, and that's Phil Nib. So there are going to be some changes at the bottom end of the top 6, maybe even into the top 3.
That's right.
Go down to the wire here at Silverstone today. Final round of the championship that is still locked together.
Quite a few notices entered for the Club Enduro race today. There's the 47 car, that's the Mauricio Scaglio car.
Ahead of them is for position. And there's the Beach and Oswick cars.
Which are a lap apart, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
There's the little Yaris, number 50 Cam Walton. There, those 2 races that we're looking at a few minutes ago, the cars that come south of number 19. I'm not sure that they need those whoops to be going quite at the pace they are. There doesn't appear to be a lot of spray being kicked up onto the windscreens. Maybe it's deceptive. I suppose if you get closer to a car behind, it becomes more important. Oh, won a spin, and it's Michael Dark in the Crown Paints car. So that's on the exit of Aintree, the approach to Wellington Straight.
Dear. And someone else wide behind that, and of course the BMW was stopped on the.
Yeah, it's not a great place.
No.
You often see cars run wide there. It is edging its way back onto the circuit. Yeah.
It's fine again. Just we lost fire. But the 2 Seats together, and that was 92. Phil Nib ahead of Ward in 141. So that's been a change during this lap.
There's Julian McBride making his way through. And we've got the Lotus, then the Ginetta with Andrew Shepherd from
5 seconds, 4 more seconds nibbled away by the Phil Nib Andrew Rath car 92 on the Mazda.
Brad Burns has pulled out another 5 seconds over Will Beach as well, and that actually drops out to 37 seconds now.
So it's just very accomplished.
No, very good drive. I mean, we thought initially that the fact that Rob Baker hadn't built a big lead over Mark Price in the early stages might prove crucial, but it's not been that way. There's the 23 car, which is the James Johnson and Matthew Portugal. It's Matthew Baldry in the second half of this one. James Johnson started that car, so just to both.
There's the number 90, the third placed Mazda. Lap times have lengthened on that car, so over 240. So I wonder if Irving's looking at those audiometric gauges and thinking, if I nurse it a bit, I've got 25 seconds, but that will soon be eroded. You've only got to watch 2 laps to go in reality, depending on where the leader is. And here he is. It'll be.
I think it is going to be.
It will be 2 laps to go.
Yeah. At the end of this. Yes, there'll be about more than 1 lap time left. By the time Bradley Burns goes on to the next lap. Motorsport Golf. Corners Luffield. Gas now as they head to the Woodcut corner.
The parking Audi TT's back into the pits.
Darkside's environment's having a heavy day. Oh, and that's a spinner. That's the number 20 car by Tortas Piperas. That's on the exit of Cops, I think.
Yeah, I think it is.
Marshall's rushing to the scene. Green flag waving now at the exit of the corner.
Head busted the barrier, didn't it?
Yeah, Marshall's checking the driver is okay. The driver from Lithuania, by Bury St Edmunds. There's the 240 car, still the fastest car out there, still the 228.40. Still not quite sure who's in that car at the moment. It is running in
Orange
7th place now.
That's only not.
Does Brian Branson have an orange crash helmet, Josh?
To match his
Yeah,
car.
I think he might do. So it might be Brian Branson that's in that car at the moment. There's the race leader though, Brad Burns. He's done a tremendous job here, hasn't he? With, in the second part, Rob Baker starting that car, doing enough to wrap up the championship over Will Beach and Mark Rice.
19 seconds between Phil Knibb and Dan Irving now.
Yeah, 6 seconds a lap being made up, but it's...
and Oslick's got back ahead of Ward.
He has, yes. With a long lap for Ward on the Boost lap at 2:58, so it's at the moment.
Spin somewhere, I suggest.
Yeah. So, next time the lead goes through the last lap, this is the Class B leader going through, Kevin Glover, who's in 9th position, ahead of Scott Parkin, second in that class, and third in that class is Stuart Much in the...
Pushing up towards finishing the loop. There's Brad Burns. There's Kevin Glover. 95. 9th place overall. Leader of Class B. Started by Luke Schlevitz, Motorsport entry.
So there's the leader, about to head on. Just put a big spin for Alan James. No,
He's kept it out of the gravel, that was the important thing.
He has, yes, at number 78. Here's though our leader just heading into Brooklands for the final time now, turning his way through double right-hander at Luffield, and he'll get the last lap board. Just looking at commentary box window. Yes, the last lap board is ready by the looks of it for Brad Burns. See it now. The last lap is underway in this TCR Club Enduro season that's taken in 7 rounds across the country and indeed in Europe as well. The season started at Croft back in April while Stacey was the winner there, first of his 3 wins this season. A couple of those with Rob Boston later on with Anglesey and Donington. Good wins as well this season for Mark Rice and Will Beach. Nick Sargent and Josh Fars and Rob Baker and Bradley Burns. Looks like Baker and Burns are going to get their 2nd win of the season and with it wrap up the Class A Championship.
Well, looks like it really sure-footed, that car looks. Not put a foot wrong, Bradley Burns in his stint. Saw that big moment for Rob Baker earlier on, lapping the 2 BMWs in line astern onto the hanger straight and found himself edged out over onto the grass. 15 seconds, slight response from Irving in 3rd place. Number 4 pulled back by Phil Knibb. And that's 240 BMW, who's now into 6th place.
There's our prospective Class C champion that we saw briefly on the screen there. That was 56 David Lawrence. There's our prospective Class A champion Bradley Burns in down the Hamilton Straight towards Abbey in the autumn sunshine, but there is an autumnal nip in James Beckett reports from out on the
Indeed.
spectator banks.
David Lawrence has made this one his own, hasn't he, in Class C?
Yeah, been pretty untroubled and he's going to have a big victory there within that class. Final half of the lap though for Bradley Burns, just needs to bring the car home safely. Through the loop he goes. And, looking for a second win of the season for this area motorsport team in this Golf that they've been using for the season.
Made about half a minute on the Bryce Beach car in 6 or 7 laps.
It's been a very good performance. Beach probably realising that the chase was futile here. They'll settle for, I think, second place within the class. Burns it is, coming out of Brooklands now through the right-hander at Luffield. There is 56, that's going to be our Class C winner, Class C champion, David Lawrence. He's just heading onto the straight as well. But here is number 1 then, Bradley Burns in the area motorsport Volkswagen Golf. He's been sharing with Rob Baker. It comes through to take the win in the final round of the Sugiwa Club Enduro Championship for 2023. With it the Class A Championship as well. They've completed 37 laps in that race. There's going to be our Class B winner. That's going to be Clevin Glover driving that car at the moment.
Running in 9th. With no prospect of catching 8th. This is a drama.
No, I think probably already through has gone David Lawrence. Well, you think that's just him flashing through now. There he is. Yes, he has won Class C both on the day and this season as well. David Lawrence in the Honda Civic FN2. There's that Civic that's in the barriers at Cops Corner. And there's David Lawrence passing his stripping classmate, having wrapped up the championship there, so very well done to him. There's Brad Burns in the number 1 car, victorious. Great drive, particularly from Brad, but Rob Baker had a good first part of the race as well, in spite of those messy dramas on the Hanger Straight.
8.8 seconds between the 3rd and 4th. Are they back now?
I think they must be, yes. But we've got Cam Walton heading up the Wellington Straight now. Final few cars coming through to complete their races. World Club Enduro Championship. Of course, Scott Parkin had already wrapped up the overall championship after the last race at Donington Park. Class C was still to be decided. It's been decided in favour of David Lawrence, so congratulations to him. And congratulations also to Rob Baker and Brad Burns, who have wrapped up Class A. And here's our Class B driver, one of the final drivers to come through, actually, Kevin Glover. I think he's about to take the checkered flag in to complete his 36th lap in what would be 8th place overall, I think. Yes, so getting ahead of Bell Williams and Harvey Caton at the end there. I think that's everyone home now, more or less.